Hello there. It's been a long time since I made a video. So basically in this video we'll talk about whether Esperanto is a religion, because I've recently learned Esperanto since I think I was learning Esperanto the last time I made a video, but I cannot speak it at all. Now I can kind of speak it. I'd like to talk about whether Esperanto is a religion. So I think this video might make some of my Esperanto friends uneasy. I do have those. There are actually other people who speak Esperanto, which, it's... Anyways, since I'm going to be kind of a critic from an atheist perspective in this video to talk about Esperanto. Okay, so let's begin. Well, first of all, for an Esperanto speaker, it's very easy to kind of just brush off the question whether Esperanto is a religion and just say, well, no. Well, because Esperanto, neither the language nor the ideology kind of really is based on something supernatural. But really, as a fellow Esperanto speaker, I think we could just take a step further, like ask ourselves, if we are not religion, why do people think we are? Like, why do some people, only some people, think we are like a religion? As an atheist, here's what I think. Having seen like many different ideologies and organizations, I find there are like many of them, while not based on the supernatural like a god or something, they share some common elements with religions. And they interact with individuals and society in similar ways to religion. Basically, they are religion-like. For example, one such element would be self-propagation. Just like many religions we are familiar with, Esperanto basically actively seeks to propagate itself. It teaches other people Esperanto. It wants more people to speak Esperanto. And as an Esperanto speaker myself, I will personally benefit if there are more Esperanto speakers, because it's kind of useless language I just learned, well, it just got slightly less useless. And if everyone is spreading Esperanto, well, maybe it's gonna get a lot less useless, and one day it might even become useful. So might even get a job or something. So there. So I want people to speak Esperanto. Basically, it's for Esperanto speakers want more people to speak Esperanto. And now, of course, people don't actually like force people to. Like, you there, learn Esperanto. They don't actually say that, but you can kind of sense the social encouragement and all that. Like, they would encourage you if you're trying to spread Esperanto. They would like even have contests or things, like they will pay money for people to, how do I put this? Actually, maybe I'll just put a link in the description. There's a recent video contest for videos that promotes Esperanto by the Japanese Esperanto Institution, I think. So having the same goal of spreading Esperanto kind of puts speakers on the same team. So it creates kind of a tribalistic friendship. So that's one of the way Esperanto is kind of like a religion. So another obvious example is Esperantism, the ideology, like many religions. It has a moral imperative, or in plain English, it says, I'm morally good. I'm good. You should do me. So basically, to the followers of this ideology, Esperanto is considered a way to world peace. And this world peace is achieved by having Esperanto as the second language for everyone. You can still learn third language, fourth language, and all. So that's the idea of final victory. And for people who believe in this ideology, it is morally good to speak Esperanto because they are fighting for world peace. They are doing it not just for themselves, but also for everyone. There's also it acts both as a motivator and an excuse to spread the language, like in many religions. Sometimes you just want to spread it because you want more friends. So, yeah, it works both ways. Well, we're not discussing whether Esperanto will give us world peace here. We're just discussing the effect of this ideology on its adopters. Of course, people believe in ideologies for actual reasons. It's better to make sure you actually correctly understand other people's reasons before if you ever find yourself in an argument, it will be very useful. That's all I'm going to say in this video. And I would like to further give a less obvious way in which Esperanto is like a religion. Now, Esperanto takes effort. Let me explain why that's related. So first of all, despite being advertised as a simple language, Esperanto still costs hundreds of hours to master. While this is easier compared to natural languages, like if you speak English and learn Chinese, it's going to take much longer time. If you speak Chinese, you're learning English, it's going to take much longer time than Esperanto. It requires an enduring effort, like every day, 30 minutes a day on Duolingo for like a whole year to be able to like just speak, like hold a conversation, right? And maybe like read some news, other people's blog, watch YouTube videos in Esperanto. Yes, there are those. And psychology tells us very well that efforts like these basically it has an effect on how you think. So if Esperanto is useless, well, you've just wasted hundreds of hours of your life. So that thought would make you uneasy, it will give you some stress. So if Esperanto is, on the other hand, indeed useful, indeed a way to world peace, it will make you feel like much better and happier and basically content with your now spend a bunch of time and money self. The idea is basically this makes your brain subconsciously biased toward the latter, like towards to believing Esperanto is useful, believing Esperanto is a world peace, believing there will be more people that will speak Esperanto in the future. Because it just makes you less stressful about what you did with your life. Like I spent more than 100 hours into learning Esperanto. Yeah, it will make me feel better if more people are speaking it, if this language is more useful than it currently is. It's still kind of fun, it's still interesting. Now, we've talked about several examples Esperanto is like a religion, so let's talk about some counterexamples. So, you probably don't know this unless you've attended Esperanto events. So, Esperanto kind of coexists with actual religions. For example, the Book of Mormon is actually translated into Esperanto. You can read it, like, yeah. Un libro de Mormon, I think. It's like, that's how maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, you can actually read the book. I'm going to put a link in the description. And you can, if you go into actual Esperanto events, you can see sessions for Buddhists, for Christians, and for many other religions. There's like Esperanto specific religion for some reason. That's kind of weird, isn't it? The religions can be odd, can seem odd to people who doesn't believe it. Once you've seen a lot of religions, it kind of, oh, okay, yeah, people do sometimes do weird things. Sometimes absolutely normal people would do things that you think are weird, but so you get used to it. Anyways, now, of course, if your religion is very determined to make other people believe it, like an evangelical something, you're probably not going to have a fun time in Esperanto land. And obviously, learning Esperanto does not exclude one from learning other constructed languages. Nobody's going to tell you to stop or it is bad to learn another constructed language. Actually, many Esperanto speakers are interested and actually speaks other constructed language, like Tokipona. Like there's actually people who contact me and they want to talk about Tokipona. Like they did that communication in Esperanto. Something like that. Yeah. But although you will get very, very strong pushbacks if you try to change Esperanto or suggest another language to replace Esperanto in Esperanto community. So, I mean, nobody's gonna say you're not a true Esperanto speaker once you speak the language. You're always an Esperantist. No matter whether you follow the ideology or not, you're an Esperantist. You're one of us. One of us. One of us. Yeah. Oh, and then there's some common misunderstandings. For example, although Zamenhof is extremely revered, not by me, the guy created Esperanto is not really seen as like a spiritual leader or something. People doesn't ask, what would he do in crisis? His own personal proposal to change the language was actually shut down by the community. Like he tried to. Actually, I think some of his proposal really made sense. Like remove the hat, the letter with hats. Like the Esperanto have different letters. It's different. It's difficult to type in the modern keyboard without special softwares. But now you can type it easily. I can type it easily. So basically, it kind of make one think what it would take to change Esperanto as well. But anyways, so the guy, there's no really like a spiritual leader or something. It just the central thing of the ideology is just to spread Esperanto. It's not like we follow certain person. Another one is Esperanto speakers can seem really weird. Like because Esperanto itself is really not useful. Like it's not useful. Like it's more of just an oddity. It's like a hobby you pick up. It's not something you learn you learn to get a job or something. You learn because you wanted to learn. Like and it's very likely this is not very useful. So it kind of appeal to certain kind of people. It's appeal to people who are like artists, like people who are, actually artists are attracted to it, I think. And people who study languages and people who maybe they just like weird things. Yeah, basically that's the kind of people it attracts. It attracts. But unlike in a religious organization where everyone is kind of weird in the same way because they are changed by the religion, in Esperanto it's like everyone has their own unique weirdness in Esperanto because it's not Esperanto that made them weird. They were weird already, and that's why they joined Esperanto. I hope that makes sense. So if Esperanto speaker seems weird, they are. Yeah, that's why. A lot of my friends are gonna be angry at me for saying this, but that's what I think. That's honestly, I'm a weird guy. I can do weird things. Yeah. And now at the end, I'd like to say, now, just like changing the language or something, whether Esperanto is like a religion is kind of a touchy subject with Esperanto speakers because some of them doesn't like the idea Esperanto is like a religion or a cult. I hope I've given you some useful information as someone who actually speaks a little bit Esperanto and attended Esperanto events like myself. So if you're ever going to have a conversation about whether Esperanto is like a religion or a cult, I hope this information helps you to get to what you actually want to discuss quicker and easier and without like all sorts of bad feelings. Yeah. So thanks for watching the video.